Hey everyone, Lone Wolf Jai here, and before we get into what I'm going to be doing in this video, I got a comment on one of my recent videos asking why I don't play JP, or if I will ever play JP. I would love to. I'll probably be F2P because I don't want to whale on a JP account. But another thing is, um, I play the games on a Samsung Galaxy S9, and for some reason the JP version of the game is not compatible with my phone. I've tried before and it just doesn't work. I haven't tried. I got some stuff from a friend from someone on Facebook about it, but I haven't tried to do it again lately. But you know, basically that's the answer to that one. But now let's get into it. I owe you guys a Shimosa video. Didn't make one last week, and it's because and I've already explained that it's because I moved from one unit to another in the apartment complex I live in, and I was just flat out dead tired after this whole weekend. So let's just get into it. Okay, what we got? We've got a no battle. This is good. We've got a no battle thing here. When we last left off, Tichiba had a little issue. So let's get back into it. Section 2. First knot. Okay, it's morning. At the home. The next day, Salem, day 2. I see. So Master went to the village in order to accompany Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter? That's right. Robin went along too to keep them safe. She said she's hoping they can determine whether that figure really is cursed or not. That's part of our investigation. It looks like we'll just have to rely on Senpai for this. True, we need to be especially careful right now. How's Abigail doing? Abby hasn't left her room since last night. I tried bringing her something to eat, but she wouldn't even touch it. Neza went climbing up to the roof earlier, but I have no idea what she's got in mind. You know, ever since we got here, Neza's been acting like a cat on its last nerve. Maybe she likes kids more than she lets on. Anyway, it's hard seeing Abby so down in the dumps. Served or not, Tichiba clearly means a lot to her. Seeing Tichiba thrown in jail must have shocked poor Abby. She's very different from the other children here, isn't she? There can't be any child as sensitive as her in this time period. It's especially unusual that she would be so close to, a slave. I'm not so sure about that. It is simply in her nature to be kind. Anyone can be compassionate like she is. This is a matter of actually wanting to. I agree with Sansa. Prejudice only takes root in certain environments. Abby lives a relatively wealthy life, at least by the standards of this colony. And she seems to have a very good education as well, thanks to Mr. Carter. And somehow, even after the loss she suffered, she's held on to her natural cheerfulness. I think that might be her greatest strength, but she still couldn't have done it alone. It's only because Tichiba, someone else who knew her parents well, was there beside her. It must have been a big help to have a close family friend around to talk to her parents gone. That's why she's taking this so hard. She's afraid she's about to lose someone else she loves. Again. You know, when I put it that way, it kind of sounds like someone else we know, doesn't it? About that. When we went to look for Abby after she ran away yesterday, I found out that an extreme fear of Native Americans, huh? Yes, but it wasn't just fear, it was, I'm not sure how to put this. Loathing? Or maybe a strong fixation? Whatever it was definitely unusual. So that's also why you felt there was something different about her then. What did Master have to say about that? Media? Where were you this morning? Answer the question, Mash. Well, yesterday I was still processing it myself, along with everything else that happened last night. I never got a good chance to tell her. I see. That may actually be for the best. What do you mean by that, Medio? I turned the house into a magical workshop. I just finished the ride a moment ago. Are you sure that was a good idea? That seems like the kind of thing we really should have asked Mr. Carter about. Oh, don't be such a wet blanket. I had to do it if we were ever going to contact Chaldea. Regardless, that was awfully bold, especially given the circumstances. People might have seen you. Were you in your spirit form? Yes. What's more, you should all be able to use your spirit forms now, at least within the house and its grounds. Okay, so they can go from spirit form back. So, see, I guess we have your right to thank for this, but what exactly is going on? Now I can change our spirit forms too? He said? That makes it sound like you already could. Well, of course, T. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm Media. Hecate herself taught me magecraft. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not Media, and I know who it is. Spoiler. There's no point in just speculating about what might be happening here. What we need is proof. Proof that there's something strange about this whole village magically and historically. Proof that this whole land, that Salem itself, is a real heretical version of history. As such, in order to observe it properly, I need a workshop that I can withdraw to, somewhere isolated from any outside influence. I see. Then I trust you fill us in on the details once Master returns. All the while you're the only one who avoided being pseudo-incarnated. My, so direct and forceful, aren't you? Heretical history. I don't know how that's pronounced. Then does that mean this land, Salem as it is now, is actually a separate dimension created with magecraft, rather than its actual past self having been brought here unintentionally? I think so. I still can't read the rules on some of its destined currents. But I'm trying to identify the root of their unusual phenomena cycles. If it was magecraft, then someone here should have a soul that can never be fulfilled, and a will to bring about the curse that caused this. That should lead us to the demon god pillar, yes? I believe so. I see. I don't think I've ever seen you work so hard on doing anything before, Media. Me neither, but it's very encouraging. And a nice change of pace. Huh? What do you mean by... Well, we can deal with that stuff later. We already told Master and Mash about this, but Sanson and I discovered something unusual too. Yes, sir, you met a girl called Lavinia Whately. She's a little albino child we ran into the forest on our first night here. But more importantly, she comes from a family of mages. Wait, what? The Whately house is far from the village, and its basement appears to contain a magical workshop. It has been concealed, but very roughly. We found discarded alchemy equipment strewn about nearby. We also found animal remains buried in their yard that seem to have been reused for dark magic rituals. What did this underground workshop look like? Does this mean that girl's family are practicing mages? Well, I'm afraid we still don't know for sure. Now then, Matahari Nora could have gone inside without leaving a trace. That sort of thing is more of Robin's alley. There was nothing more we could do. Without Master's permission, we couldn't risk getting any closer. Wait, aren't Sanson and Matahari both assassins, covert kind of things? Boy, that's a little bit of a plot hole there. If we could have used our spirit forms, we couldn't know we wouldn't be walking into a trap. That's okay, just knowing that there's a magical workshop there is more than enough. We still need to be careful about how we handle this, though. If the people of Salem found out the Whateleys are mages, there's no telling what they might do. Mosh, I believe you also said that Lavinia and Abby are good friends? Yes, that's what Abby told me. However, it also seems that the people here are strongly dislike the Whateleys. And I don't know how much Abby knows about that, but if anything. Mages, huh? That could be even worse than the clergy. Also, may I say something? I am not sure if this is because of the right you completed there here, Media, but... Oh, did you remember something already? Go on, tell us. Yes, I did. Something very important, actually. That new judge who showed up out of nowhere last night, Matthew Hopkins, I know him. Or rather, I know of him. He is, like me, one of the most famous executioners in history. He is? Then he's not really a judge. I couldn't make it heads or tails of that man. Who is he? He's... Wait, stop. Good morning, Abigail. Morning, everyone. What were you all whispering about? Neza told me about how Uncle is out with Ms. Ringmaster right now. She went to see how Titchet was doing, right? That's right, so please don't worry, Abby. I'm sure that Senpai and Mr. Carter will clear Titchet's name. Yeah, I guess you're right. Please, plus Neza's here too. Neza? What about her? The young girl refused porridge. I added spice. She ate. What she's trying to say is that we talked about all sorts of things while I had my porridge. And she told me that if I found any bad guys, she would beat them to a pulp. That she'd make them completely evaporate before even a drop of their blood has a chance to hit the ground. It sounded truly frightening, but I also kind of want to see it now. Of course, I would be delighted. That sort of violent performance really isn't what we're going for with this troupe. Maybe I should pray to God and ask forgiveness. At any rate, we have a lot we need to discuss with Master as soon as she gets back. You mean about your plays? Yes, of course. Specifically, we need to discuss the tragedy and comedy taking place right here on Salem's own stage. Okay. Welcome back, Senpai. Mr. Carter went out again? He took Abby... Oh, sorry, let me start it over. Mr. Carter went out again, and he took Abby with him. He said he was going to the church to speak with a reverend. It sounds like they're all concerned about what's going on with the other children. So right now, we're the only ones here. Oh wow, a stern look on some of their faces. How did your investigation go? You said you met with Judge Hopkins? Would you mind telling them, Robin? No problem. You must be seriously worn out after dealing with that old fart. That bad? Why don't you have a seat in that comfy chair and try to relax, Senpai? We learned a few things too while we were out, so I'd like to make sure you're all equally caught up. Been a big help, Mosh. Thank you, Senpai. That's what I was hoping to be when I asked you to just come along. Okay, to start, let's go over what happened with Matthew Hopkins, the judge that suddenly showed up last night. Man, I don't know what that guy Hopkins' deal is. First of all, Master, Carter, and me went to the town's holding cell to talk to Tituba. But all the guard tells us that she wasn't allowed any visitors, or from the top at all. So you weren't permitted to see her at all then? Nope. Turns out in this case, holding cell is just a fancy way of saying underground prison. I snuck a quick peek inside the cell, and it was a real hellhole. There were rats and cockroaches everywhere, water leaking from the walls. The whole place smelled like something had died. Never mind sunlight. The only light in the whole jail was a few dim torches in the hall. Any more than a day in that dump, and you'd lose your goddamn mind. What about Tituba then? Did you see her at all? Tituba's, well, she's still alive, I guess. She was curled up in a ball and freaking out something fierce. Poor Tituba. Coward. Rescue. Simplicity itself. Why did you not? 'Cause I'm a coward, obviously. Especially here in Salem. Stop it, Neza. Remember, Master and Robin went to clear her name, not to break her out. If we were to overstep our bounds like that, we'd only end up furthering suspicion against her. I see. Yes, you are right. Apologies, Robin. Thoughtless of me. That. Sure, no problem. Anyway, like I was saying, it was all Hawkins' call not to let anyone see her. Wouldn't even let her owner, Carter, in. So we decided to go talk to him directly. We found him staying in a room at the fanciest mansion in town. A shit captain by the name of Turner built it. Turns out it had a guest room specifically reserved for judges and preachers and bigwigs like that. Okay, so you went to see Hopkins directly. Did he seem to be a demon god pillar? A demon god pillar? You serious? How the hell should I know? What was I gonna do? Shoot him in the face and see if he transformed? Come on. In the end, all I could do was watch Master get worn out. Sorry for all the trouble, Rob. Don't sweat it. It's not every day we servants get to help out like this. Maybe the magical erosion caused by the curse that Medea is concerned about is affecting Master too. What are you talking about? That's definitely important too, but first we want to hear more about what happened there. How did Mr. Carter handle the negotiations? Carter's a pretty level-headed guy, but he's also got balls of steel. He went toe-to-toe with Hopkins the whole time. You never know he was just a mild-mannered professor. Abby told me. Carter served during a war. Ah, a military man. That explains it. Well, considering this is like shortly after... he could have fought in the Revolutionary War. He washes big gingerly. Must be an old war wound. I'm impressed you caught that, Sansa. I didn't notice at all. Carter didn't even try for an emotional appeal or anything like that. He said Tituba was his own private property and refused to budge from his claim that taking her away like this was an unlawful seizure. He even said he would seek punitive damage if this resulted in any impediment to her ability to work. The constables who were there were pretty freaked out when Carter said how much money he would ask for, but Hopkins didn't even blink. The cursed doll? What of it? What became of that evidence? That's where our ringmaster showed what she was made of. She kept insisting to see the figure again to determine whether it was black magic at work. But all Hawkins would say was, the devil has taken up residence in that doll, just as he has taken up residence in Tituba. One need only look at the suffering child to see the hand of the devil in all this. If we were to limit the curse's reach, we cannot have people getting near or even touching that doll. Ironically, that would be a sensible move in a situation involving magecraft. But Mr. Carter wasn't having that, so he decided to speak with the Reverend, who made a diagnosis. It helps that Abby went with him. That's true. Abby's a very strong believer herself. Maybe she can get the Reverend to listen to reason. At least I hope so. Now it's just wasting his time. What do you mean? Hopkins is going to try to extract confessions from his suspects. That is what he does best. Who is Hopkins? It's time you told us, Sanson. Alright. From what I know, Matthew Hopkins was a British attorney. But this is indeed 1692. Oh shit, it was before the Revolutionary War. Okay, forget I said that. Hopkins would be quite elderly, yet he does not seem so. However, history tells us that he died in 1647, almost half a century ago if Abigail gave us the correct date. I can only surmise that history is wrong in this. During his life, he is best known by the title of Witchfinder General. Witchfinder General is from the military? No, he is not military. Matthew Hopkins made witch hunts his life work. The title was, so far as we know, the one he gave himself. He supported himself with the rewards he got from hunting witches. His methods were brutal, even cruel, but people went along with them. I heard that he was responsible for the execution of 300 so-called witches in East England over the course of 3 years. 300 people? In only 3 years? But weren't all of them innocent? Most of them, yes, I expect. Ugh, what a scumbag. So he went around killing innocent people, strung up as witches? So he went around seeing innocent people strung up as witches just to make a buck? Did you say they were hanged? I thought witches were burned at the stake back then. The vast majority of witch hunts resulted in hangings, especially in England. Witchcraft was considered a grave crime against the leanings of God. As such, suspected witches were tried and executed the same as other felons. Burning someone at the stake was more of a form of torture than execution. It also served as a warning to anyone watching. As executions go, hanging is far more efficient and less painful. As these people are British colonists, they probably share many of the same sensibilities. Then does that mean they're going to hang Tituba? With Hopkins here, that's definitely possible. Putting Tituba in that disgusting underground prison will wear on her mind, and quickly. If an ordinary person is locked away, starved and denied visitors, they might last a week, no, 3 days at most. 3 days. Such meant by a race against time. Sanson, very knowledgeable about this. Got a hand to you, Prince Neza. You're way better with kids than me. So then you were never able to examine the evidence? I took a look at it, but I couldn't tell you one way or the other. It just looked like a regular handcrafted doll. That means I will need to examine it myself. For all the talents much, I don't think you'd be the best equipped to handle this sort of thing. It'd be great if you could do that, but first tell us about this workshop ritual. Of course! I believe you already heard the general outline I gave it to the others earlier. I'll spare the details. Summary. I took the liberty of turning this house into my workshop. This should be quite helpful, as it seems we'll largely be staying here during our mission. I see. Indeed, as of now, the area we're investigating here is much smaller compared to past missions. My primary aim was to ensure I could make full use of my Magecraft, but there are other benefits as well. That is, as long as we're in my workshop, we're not affected by the influence this land is having on us. You mean you can use your spirit forms again? Right. But that's only a very small part of all this. Oh? Can anyone here describe what Tituba looks like in detail? Huh? What do you mean? I know she's a mild-mannered woman with brown skin, but well, that's strange. What about the color of her eyes, her hairstyle, her build, her age? Now that you mention it, I can't remember anything like that. Oh man, I can't either. What the hell? Damn, you're right, Medea. We didn't even know we were caught in an enemy's trap. So then something's been interfering with our awareness, or maybe our memories. And as long as we're inside this workshop, we are not subject to that interference, correct? Right. If this bounded field can so easily interfere with the servant's senses, it must be the sort that would typically require divine spirit to create. And yet, we still can't get a firm grasp on it. It's like it slips away whenever we try. You discovered this, Media? What do you think? Is it obvious? Tituba has been concealing her true appearance all along. Actually, she's the one who strikes me as odd at this point. More so than Hawkins, in fact. If anyone here has a connection to the demon caterpillar, I'd bet it's her. Ideally, I'd have liked to examine her after she returned here to Miss Carter's house, but since that no longer seems possible, I'll just have to go examine her myself. That seems like it puts you at a hell of a disadvantage. Well, I guess you're the only one who hasn't been so affected by the bounded field. I guess that's why you're the Queen Witch or whatever, yeah? Okay, we got some fireworks going off out of the parking lot over there. Oh, it looks like a parking lot. It's not a parking lot, it's one of the fields over here. Sorry for the interruption. You know it. I'm the baddest witch of all. Don't need to be shy about it. That's definitely not Media. She hates being called a witch. Huh. Kind of thought that might piss you off. I guess someone agrees with you or something. I know we're already asking a lot of you, Media, but there's something else we need your help with. Oh, right. What about contacting Chaldea? I've been focusing on getting the workshop done, so I haven't made any progress there yet. But I'm about to. I'll give it about a 50-50 chance of working, sadly. Master, I think this is your call. Do we focus on saving, or possibly capturing Tituba, or making contact with Chaldea? We can't just throw Tituba to the wolves. Well said, Solaria. Any master that would make a child cry, no master of mine. Anyway, there might be a whole bunch of problems we've got to solve, but it's not like we've suffered any losses ourselves so far, right? Someone will get mad at me for saying this, but I don't think contacting Chaldea needs to be a priority now. Whew. Oh? You're backing me up on this, Media? Yes, I agree. Given the circumstances, making contact with Chaldea can wait. For now, I'm going to pay Hawkins a visit. Would you mind escorting me, Ringmaster? I'd like to say that no one else needs to come along, but I doubt that will be well received. Me, I'll go along too. Anyone else want to come? Strength in numbers, right? Then I shall join you as well. I think there may be something I can do to improve the situation. That would be great. Thank you, Sensei. Okay, then in the meantime, we'll keep investigating the village. Robin, Neza, shall we? Sure thing. Guess we'll head back to the Waitley estate. Understood. Okay, is that it? Hopefully. Ah, crap. Soldiers. Okay. Solaria, was it? I do not care how many times you ask. I will not be releasing a suspect held in custody. If she is truly innocent, then she has nothing to fear. Do not interfere with my work. You are oddly presumptuous for a band of traveling performers. Unless you have some personal reason to protest the suspect's attention. Senpai, you sure that it was a good idea to face him head on like this? It's the quickest way for Betty to get a look. That may be true, but still. Solaria, Nash, you need to help keep Hopkins talking. Make him show you the evidence he seized. Okay, here it goes. Absolutely not. That evidence is crucial to this case. This is not for discussion. Saw that one coming. Why are you so fixated on this object? The slave woman has already admitted to making it. That may be, but... Your Honor. And who might you be? My name is Charles Henri Sanson. I'm a member of the Solari Company. A Frenchman, eh? You're certainly a long ways from home. Indeed. I have been wondering for a long time, but I also know a thing or two about medicine. In fact, I treat a significant number of patients. Furthermore, I'm told there are people here who have fallen ill. with children among their number. So if it please your honor, I would ask your permission to examine them. Well now, this is a surprise. You? A doctor? No doubt you mean to charge exorbitant prices for some potion of sorts. Or perhaps you are a heretic yourself. Nothing of the sort, your honor. For example, I can see that you suffer from joint pain. What does that prove? The same could be said for most men my age. I'm sure the inclement weather we've been having lately doesn't help. Perhaps your aching joints have put you in a foul mood. I can also see that you enjoy your liquor, but don't care for a lot of milk in your tea. If I may, I would suggest you refrain from drinking too much. It also do you good to eat more fresh vegetables rather than subsist only on bread and meat. I suggest courgettes, I mean zucchini. I also recommend salad with parsley, apple vinegar dressing. It'll help with the pain. They do say diet is the root of good health. I can't say I approve of your methods, Frenchman. Any layman could do the same. I can all but hear you shouting that you aren't like those ghouls who think that playing a few leeches entitles them to a reward. Very well, I shall grant you permission to examine the patients. However, you're not to harm or puncture their bodies in any way, nor are you permitted to administer anything brought in from outside their homes. Also, you may charge no fee. You will pay a fixed amount per household from the village coffers. Thank you, Your Honor. That is more than enough. Whew, this is great. Now we can examine the village as much as we like. Plus, I think this can help with our investigation, right, Senpai? There was a very sense. I hope I didn't mind my taking the liberty, Ringmaster. Hopkins, your first responsibility lies neither to the villagers nor to your decrepit knees and back. It's to the health of a valuable witness, Tituba. As a fellow woman, I'm going to examine her, whether you like it or not. Give me the key to her cell now. Lydia? I'm sorry, Ringmaster. There's just something about this man I can't stand. Well now, if you come to perform a farce, I'm afraid you're in the wrong place. And what about you? Are you really fit to serve as the guardian of the law that you claim to be? Medicine is an intellectual practice, and so is the domain of men. The superstitious nonsense women espouse is healing is nothing more than witchcraft. Tell me, woman, are you a witch? I am wisdom itself, deep, womanly wisdom. Clearly you do not believe that women have anything useful to offer in their experience or stories. Watch your mouth. How dare you address us all like that way? Hold. These people didn't come here to enact violence. I've heard stories myself, you know, including ones about thieves who disguise themselves as traveling performers. Indeed, I see now that such a cover would be perfect for those with larcenous intent. Cunning clowns rule over the children of obscenely dressed dancing girls beguile good, upstanding men. They mislead the townspeople with caricatures of bystanders and voyeurs, then take advantage of the commotion to steal from them. At times, they even commit arson or burglary and disappear like so much smoke. Once they leave, they never return to that town, not caring what manner of evidence they leave behind. What a foolish, dim-witted notion. Such greedy bandits could never hope to perform a refined tragedy, nor a moving comedy. None could ever compare to King Lear or the Merchant of Venice. I saw them in London, in the London Globe Theatre. Ha 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 ha. Damn it, Shakespeare, you're in it for when I get back. Achoo! Gesundheit, you coming down with a cold, or did your mustache just get stuck in your nostrils? I just got a strange chill down my spine. Odd. Oh, I'm sure it's nothing. Ha ha ha. Definitely a cold. No, it's a common thing that people sneeze or their ears start to, twitch a little bit when someone's talking about them. Hypocrite, arson burglar, precisely what you yourself did during your witch hunts. Still, could it be that he regrets, I don't want to do this damn thing. Could it be that he regrets his past now? He almost seems like he's trying to make amends. I swear to you that we respect Salem's customs and would never do anything to compromise its piety. You don't say. I will tell you now that I sent a messenger down to Boston to visit someone who knows the city well. And he reported back to no one had ever heard of a troupe calling themselves the Solaria Company. That is not in itself a significant problem. Massachusetts has not forgotten the Boston witch trial of John Goodwin 4 years ago. Fortune began having strange seizures, and expected all witch was responsible for them. Indeed, the devil frequently makes us use of women for his evil means. How can you be certain of that the slave woman is not of one of his pawns? And so I declare that Salem must be placed on high alert. There are witches in our midst. The devil is here in Salem. There is no telling what form they may take. Doesn't you're banishing us? So you would confess your guilt by running away? Quite the opposite, Solaria. Quite the opposite. Solaria, I give you permission to perform for the entire town. What? And you will perform. Tonight. You will give a masterful performance. Hold on, folks. I hate when that happens. Let me get caught up here. And you will give a masterful performance that moves everyone here. And in so doing, you will demonstrate that you truly are performers. Gather as many villagers as will fit in the town. Gather as many performers that will fit in the town hall, and give them a good show. We just did that last night. That was only a select few. This will be for the rest of the village. And if our play does not remove them, I will have you arrested as bandits pretending to be performers and investigate you all thoroughly. If we succeed, will you release Tituba from prison? That is a promise I cannot make. A crime is still a crime. But I can say that if it goes to trial, your success will have a much better impression on the jurors. And one more thing. That woman will not be in your cast when you perform. Huh? Me? Why? Lock her in a cell as well, to ensure our compatriots do not flee in the night. You can't be serious. You were extremely rude to a judge. Be grateful to not pass sentence on you here and now. In fact, I'll only put you next to Tituba, just as you wished. Hopkins. Truly convincing anguish. I hope to see that such pathos from all you actors tonight. Betty, it's also sudden. You want us to perform tonight? What place should we? Do not worry. I will select that for you as well. For it must be something that Salem needs now more than ever. Probably some kind of religious play. Okay, so that's finally the end of it. I don't know how long this video was, because normally the timer is like right there in the bottom right corner. Okay, next one's going to be the town hall, and we're dealing with... Oh, shoot, Rulers, Avengers, and Lancers. Which means I might need to bring... definitely going to bring Musashi. Might need to bring Jalter and BB. So... Okay, so that's going to be it for the next video. Until next time, Mo Jay saying thank you all for watching. See you then. Take care of yourselves.